What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor, subscribe, drop a comment, drop a like if you want to support every single show, and check out GearUp.LA, the official merchandise store of Dodgers Nation. Go get some merch, man. Go get some t-shirts. Go do it. But we've got a jam-packed show. We've got a quick show today. I have to leave, but I did want to get some thoughts in on today's game. We've got a full run of episodes coming up this week of Dodgers Dugout Live. We've got some guests, Tim Neverett, Jerry Hairston Jr., Sean Green could be in the mix. So, yeah, but tonight, though, we got some comments. We got the real Mike Petty. The trumpet guy will be fine in a couple of years when he comes back from his arm injury. Come on now. I hate that. DMAC, it's Sunday night. I know. What is up? What is up, Dodgers Nation? But we got lots to get into, so let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so it was a interesting day in Colorado. You had a debut. Ryan Ward, we'll talk about that. But it's the first time since 2022 the Dodgers have lost 2 straight games to the Colorado Rockies at Coors Field. And you guys know, look, I know a lot of people hate Coors Field. To me, first of all, it's a great ballpark to visit. But also, for an offense to get going, I think for a debut like Ryan Ward, made some sense. Certainly made some sense. The Dodgers like to hit at Coors Field. But the big topics on this one is a lot of firsts, right? It was the first time for Roki Sasaki to pitch at Coors Field. It was the first time for Ryan Ward to play, and also the first time for Edwin Diaz to pitch in 9 days. So let's start with Roki Sasaki. Let's hop aboard the Roki coaster, which is always an interesting ride with twists and turns. I'm screaming because I'm having fun. I'm also about to barf sometimes because of the walks and things like that. So it is the full Roki coaster experience with him at times. But look, the first 3 innings, he looked really good. He kept the Rockies offense at bay. He was efficient, needed just 26 pitches to get through those first 3 frames. The defense behind him played very well. And then the Dodgers offense, they got it going early. You had a nice little surge against Rockies starter Michael Lorenzen there in the top of the 3rd inning. Ha-Seong Kim hit a double with 1 out. Alex Freeland had a base hit. That scored the first run of the game to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. And Shohei Ohtani, we didn't have to wait until late in the game for him to extend his on-base streak to 51 games. He did it there in that 3rd inning with an RBI 2-bagger that scored Alex Freeland. That gives Shohei 51 straight games where he's reached base, getting close to Sean Green's 53, getting close to Duke Snyder, his 58. He did pass Willie Keeler for the 3rd longest streak in Dodgers history. And most importantly for that inning, he extended the Dodgers lead to 2-0. It looked like you were going to give Roki some run support. The offense was going to get it going. And then how about this? After he flew out in his first big league at-bat, swinging at the first pitch. I love me a guy that just says, you know what, I'm swinging at the first pitch. I remember when Andy Pages, when he debuted, we asked him after his debut a few years ago, and he told us, hey, I'd already told myself that I was going to swing at the first pitch. So I don't care what pitch it is. Don't leave the bat on your shoulder. Swing at that first pitch. And he flew out in his first at-bat, but his second at-bat, in the top of the 4th inning, he singled to right for his first career hit, and that scored Andy Pages to give the Dodgers a 3-0 lead. And I love this stuff. I eat this stuff up. I really, really do. Big league debuts are my bag. Like, I think you look at other sports, it's like when it's basketball or if there's a high draft pick, usually going to play the first game of the season, right? First couple games of the season. Football, I think the quarterback spot, obviously you can draft a quarterback high, and he might not make his debut for sometimes years. I mean, like Aaron Rodgers, and there's plenty of examples, right, of drafting a quarterback you want to sit behind. But I love baseball because you just never know when even high prospects are going to make their debuts. And a lot of time, it's when this team is struggling, they need a jump start, or when a player's injured. In this case, Freddie Freeman on the paternity leave list, and that opened the door for Ryan Ward to get his opportunity and make his debut, and he did just that. And the Dodgers offense, it looked like, hey, they were going to continue to cruise, and then it gets back to Roki Sasaki, and that's where things started to change. After 3 scoreless innings to start the game, bottom of the 4th inning, they got a rally going on Roki. Mickey Moniak, he got a leadoff single, and then this is where I look at areas where Roki can control the controllables, right? Big league hitters are going to sit on stuff. If you're not throwing fastballs in the zone early in counts, big league hitters are not going to bite at that forkball, and it makes it very difficult. When Roki Sasaki gets ahead in the count, he can be an effective pitcher, but when he starts walking guys, when he starts hitting guys and starts making those unforced errors, that's when he can get into trouble. And he plunked Hunter Goodman, and then he got Tyler Freeman to strike out. His first punch out of the game there in the 4th inning. But then he gives up a single to TJ Rumfield. That gave the Rockies their first run of the afternoon. And this is where the lack of efficiency hurts you. Because, one, you can't go deeper into games, so you further tax the bullpen. And you just can't get more opportunities against big league hitters, and that's what he certainly needs at this part of his development. So he threw just 26 pitches in the first 3 innings combined, and then he's already up to 20 pitches there in that 4th inning. That walked Troy Johnston to load the bases, or as Bob Costas likes to say, the sacks are juiced. And then he did get ahead of Willie Castro. Then he kind of leaned on that splitter, that forkball there, and he got that 4-6-3 double play to get out of the inning. So, yeah, I mean, to kind of get through that spot, that shows the moxie, the mound presence, the fearlessness that he does have. But then you look at just some of those middle inning issues that he started to have. So he falls behind Kyle Karros, UCLA Bruins. Shout out to the Bruins. 8 clap, 4's up. And Kyle Karros, he crushes a dinger bottom of the 5th inning, and he got all of it. A 448-foot bomb, and that made a 1-run game. So how about this? Kyle Karros, 2 career home runs, both against the Dodgers, the team that he grew up wanting to play for. And then Jake McCarthy, he got a bloop single. Andy Paz made a great attempt to try to catch it right there in shallow right field. He gets into second, though, and he's a double. I mean, he's just hustling, and he's able to just leg out a double somehow. It looked like it was going to be a single. He goes to the double. And then after that, Giuliani tied the game with a single that scored McCarthy. So he gets the 2 straight outs. Goodman strikes him out, and then Sasaki, he missed just off the plate inside on a full count to Freeman. That puts 2 men on with 2 outs. And then Dave Roberts, he comes, gets the ball. He threw 52 pitches in those 4th and 5th innings there. He ends up going 4 2/3 innings. And thankfully, Alex Vesia comes in to get Sasaki off the hook a little bit. There was a line out there by Rumfield to get out of the jam. But, yeah, I mean, you look at Roki now. We're 4 starts into his 2nd season in the show, and you have seen some improvements. The flashes are certainly there, but you just kind of look at the results, and you just need more from Roki Sasaki. So we'll talk some more Roki, and we'll throw a grade out for his start. What grade do you give Roki on his start? I want your grades, but let's hear from Roki Sasaki. Let's see what he had to say about his 4th start of the season, and one that, look, you always have to take it with a grain of salt. Anytime it's at Coors Field, we know it's like we know it's like bowling with the bumpers on, as I like to say. But still, just coming off the rails is the biggest concern. Is when he starts to lose it, he loses it pretty quickly, and you just can't live like that for the duration of an entire season. But here was Roki, who was challenged by Dave Roberts to go 5 innings. He got close, and you thought maybe he could throw in a quality start there, but that pitch count really got up on him. Here was Roki Sasaki after the game.
Roki, first time to the order, you were very efficient, and it seemed like the stuff was in a really good spot. Considering how aggressive this team is, what adjustments did you see them make second time through the order?
今回すごくいい球が来たと思うんですけれども、相手チームもかなりアグレッシブにできた中で、2巡目がどんな調整というか、してきましたか。
そうですね、1巡目早いカウントで打ってもらったので、基本的にはまっすぐ多くなって、そこで打ってもらって、初球のまっすぐ打ってもらって、そこから2巡目は、変化球を入れながら、ほとんどフォークボールでしたけど、こういいとこに行ったり、抜けたり、そんな感じでした。
Yeah, first time through the order, they really aggressive. They swing really early in the count, but second time through, I kind of mixed in my off-speed pitches.
Did you find you changed your game plan to them, or do you think they changed their game plan to you?
今日のその、配球というかゲームプランは、ロッキーが変えたのか、それとも相手が途中で変えてきたのか、どちらと。
相手です。
ロッキーズの方かな。ロッキーズの方です。ロッキーからゲームプランを変えていったのか。
いや、ここから特に変えてないですけど、試合前のミーティング通りに、投げました。
Yeah, I actually didn't, change any game plan, but I think they were just making an adjustment.
Do you feel like you've been able to keep making strides, or do you feel like you're kind of in the same spot for the last couple starts here, overall, production-wise? Do you feel like you've been able to make strides as the season's gone along, or do you feel like you've been kind of in the same place for the last few starts here?
同じような感じで今までと投げることができるのか、それともちょっと調整していくのかという。
ずっと調整はしてるので、ただ1週間の中でどれだけ、変えれるかっていうのを区切られた期間の中でもありますし、ただ長期的な視点と、次の登板ですぐできることを2つを分けて調整するようにはしてます。
Yeah, I try to make adjustment all the time, and then in the long run, and then I have to do the things I need to work on, but at the same time, there are also the things you need to work on different. So yeah, I'm just keep making adjustment in the long term.
Are you more frustrated with the results or satisfied with the progress?
今回の結果に関してちょっとフラストレーションがあるか、それとも満足しているような状況があるか。
球数少なく打ってもら早いカウントで打ってもらったので、球数少なく、イニングが積み重ねていったので、途中までの内容だったらもっとイニング投げれましたし、3点取ってもらってたので、そこもリード守り切った状態で、降りるべきだったなとは思ってます。
Yeah, I was kind of satisfied with keeping the pitch count down, but we got lead, but I can hold it. So yeah, if I'm able to go deeper, maybe it'll be better.
Do you feel like you didn't go to the off speed early because you didn't have a good feel for it, or is that just because they were attacking the fastball early?
今日に関してちょっと変化球多かったかなというか、気がしたんですけども、それは、何かそのファーストボールが良くなかったとか、そういう理由があるんですか？
キャッチャーの考えもあるので、そこは試合中も話し合いながらやってましたし、その時その時に一番いいと思ったボールを投げてるだけなので、それは結果としてどう偏るかっていう話なので、バッターによってカウントによってそこは変わってくるんじゃないかなと思います。
Yeah, it's basically just catch, let's go, but try to make adjustment on the fly depending on the hitter's reaction.
So that's a tough one for Roki. He only threw his slider a couple of times. He was trying to establish that fastball. You saw the fork. And look, anytime you have pitchers pitching in Colorado, it always is going to be impacted by the elements. And if you don't know why, of course, it's famously at 5,280 feet as far as the elevation goes, and really it's the air. So the air is 18% thinner, and when the air is 18% thinner, which it is in Colorado, it reduces the aerodynamic drag on the ball. So essentially what that does is pitchers that are trying to establish their breaking balls, they're not moving as much. They're not breaking as much. Also has an impact on the vertical movement on fastballs, which is what we saw with Edwin Diaz. Is that fastball, it can look flat. It can be flat. And also with the air being dry, not only that, it's very thin, so it increases the carry of the ball too. So there's all these little reasons why, but yeah, that's why. It's a nightmare for pitchers, especially young ones and ones that are trying to get right, to establish it. Now, I think that for Roki, and I got a couple super chats I want to read right here. I appreciate all the super chats, all the love. And super chats, who we got? We've got a couple here. First one from Stavi Porter, 1999. Appreciate you. D-Mac, I want to know what you think about possibly putting Roki in the bullpen when Snell comes back, and if they possibly refuel the idea of getting Scuba like the rumors in the offseason, especially if Detroit isn't getting hot. So I'll answer the first one. And look, I could just tell you from just talking to people around the organization, like, when Roki decided to leave the NPB, his Chibolote Marines, and sign with the Dodgers, there was a very well understood commitment from the Dodgers to Roki that, hey, we are going to give you every opportunity to be a starting pitcher. And it's still too early to wave the white flag on that. I mean, today there was progress. There really was. If he had his breaking stuff early, if he had the slider in that inning where it was the fourth and the fifth, maybe there's a world where he does go sixth and gives up just a couple of runs. He's closer than it looks, but I've always said on the show, this is not process oriented as we typically see with developmental pitchers, the minor league level. Process in the minors, results in the majors. And right now, he has a 6.11 ERA. And I think the big issue with him is, as he talked about there, the first couple times through the order, you see the results. It's the first time through the order. Once he gets to the second time, it starts to get shaky. And you look at the trend this season, and he has a scoreless ERA in the first two innings in each of his four starts. But it's innings 3 through 5 that are his kryptonite. An 11.17 ERA in innings 3 through 5. So sure, could he be a dominant reliever? He could. We saw that in stretches last year in the postseason. But the stuff is too good. The promise was made with the Dodgers and Roki, so they're not going to panic and do that, right? I mean, what they did with Clayton Kershaw before he found out about the slider. Yes, Kersh was not fighting for velocity. I think that Roki tends to do at times, but I just think that we can talk about the bullpen thing, but the truth is they're just not going to do that right now. I think before you got to that level, you would have to set him down to the minor leagues and see if he can establish more of that slider command and make sure he's fine-tuning those mechanics on the fastball at the minor league level as a starter before you would go to that. So step one, starter at the big league level. Step two, sending him down to AAA to get his confidence, to get his mechanics, to get everything right as a starter. And then it's back to the majors to see if you can do it again. And then it's maybe at some point towards the later stages of the season, then you could say, hey, we did a lot of starting pitcher development throughout the most of the year, but now if everyone's healthy, maybe you can throw them into the bullpen in September and October. But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do anything knee-jerk with Roki. As far as trading for Tarek Skubal, I don't think that's going to be a Roki thing. I think that'll be a Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Ohtani, Glasnow thing. I think 2 of those 4 have to get injured. Maybe 1 depending on who that is, for them to strongly consider. Because look, man, the way that Rushing's playing, the way that Pajes is playing, I mean, not giving up those guys, right? And the Dodgers, they're certainly a team that if they feel like they need a piece, they're going to go after it. But I don't think that right now they're going to do that. And I think that, I mean, going back to Roki, Roki's not going to be Scooble this year. He certainly is not. But I think that he certainly is someone that you kind of look at long term as, hey, can we at least make it where Roki on this roster doesn't have a negative impact on a rotation, so those other guys can have more success. And other thing with Roki too, first pitch strikes, 9 for 22 on first pitch strikes tonight. Did not pitch well early in counts to set himself up for success. Some progress. Let's see how he does in his next start. But, the Roki coaster, I'm ready to hop off that ride. Let's hear from Dave Roberts, hear what he had to say about Roki Sasaki. Then when we come back, we'll talk some Blake Trinan. We will talk some Ryan Ward. We'll get his reaction to his first game as a big leaguer. I love seeing the families go crazy. I love seeing that. It just, I don't know, man. I am one of those Moneyball, how could you not be a romantic about baseball type of dudes, and I'm not afraid to say it, okay? May have got a little misty-eyed. Just gonna say it. But here's Dave Roberts after the game.
Obviously today it just didn't look sharp.
Is it harder to trust, especially when you see like a 93 up there at one point, or kind of how do you evaluate what you saw today, given those like caveats?
Today was a tough evaluation. I mean, it really was, because I know what it's supposed to look like, and and then when it doesn't look like that, it gets a little concerning, really. And so I'll have a conversation with them. I know our training staff and pitching guys will, and make sure that there is nothing to it, because the radar gun has been consistent and his velocity has been consistent, and it wasn't there today. So we got to I got to know more. Yeah.
Did he say after the outing he physically felt okay?
I haven't talked to him. Yeah.
The seventh inning, the two lefties at the top of the Rockies lineup. Why is Trinan the guy when you have Tanner and Dreyer?
Well, Dreyer I didn't want to pitch today, to be honest, after 2 innings, and it's either if I go the other way and put Scott in there, then Trinan's going to get 4 lefties in the middle of the order. So it's pick your poison. I felt bleeding into 2 righties, it's the right spot for him. Yeah.
I think whether there was any residual effect from him taking one off the head yesterday.
I have no idea, Bill.
He didn't look out of sorts to you or anything.
No, he just didn't make pitches.
Getting back to Roki, did you see some improvement?
Yeah, I did. I thought he was more efficient. I thought he got ground balls when he needed to. Got some quick fly balls, and I really wanted him to get through that fifth inning. But with Rumfield up, I felt, Alex was going to give us a better chance to kind of keep the game there. But overall, better outing, yeah.
First back-to-back losses of the season, an odd place for it to happen, considering the Rockies situation. Is that just this place? Weird things happen here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're a better ball club, and in this ballpark, a lot of things happen. So this ballpark is certainly a neutralizer. The pitchers don't have the same feel. Ball plays different, and so it's still hard to still win a baseball game, big league baseball game, and Coors Field is certainly at the top of the list.
How aggressive do you want guys to sort of be challenging offensively late in games? And obviously, I don't know if you've been able to go back through some of the at-bats, but like some of those borderline calls, are those ones that you, especially in that situation, you want guys to be maybe a little bit more aggressive when it comes to maybe trying that?
Yes, especially when you have two challenges left, and the ninth inning and borderline pitches to certainly try to exhaust them on those borderline pitches. Yeah, but I don't know. I honestly don't know which pitches you're talking about. I haven't looked at it, but probably the Ward at bat. I think there was a close one there. Is that right? Freeland in the eighth? Yeah. So I think that, yeah, absolutely. When you get late in the game, that's certainly leverage. Yeah.
Ryan Ward, just what did you like from what you were able to kind of get some eyes on today with his major league debut?
I thought he took good at bats. I thought the moment didn't get too big for him, and it was fun to watch him out there. I was happy to see him get his first couple hits, drove in a run, and that's what it's about. So I wish we could have won a baseball game on top of it, but still a good day for Ryan and his family.
It was Dave Roberts after the Dodgers' first back-to-back losses of the season, happening in Colorado of all places. But the Dodgers lose 9-6. They fall to 15-6, to the best record in Major League Baseball. But he did touch on a couple things I want to hit real quick, and that first is on Blake Trinan. So Blake Trinan did not have the best go of it today by any stretch. Trinan, he goes 0 innings. He wasn't allowed to even record an out on 14 pitches. Gave up 3 runs on 4 hits. It was a mess for Blake Trinan in Colorado. He gave a leadoff double to Julian, then Moniak. He crushed a home run, a sweeper. They left up, and then Goodman doubled, then Freeman singled. I mean, it was just, he couldn't get an out. And then he was immediately out of the game. But I'm not going to put too much on Blake. I still think that, is he going to be the best version of himself that we've seen a couple years ago? I don't. I still think if he stays healthy, he can be serviceable. My biggest concern today, though, was Edwin Diaz. And we'll talk about Edwin Diaz next. But first, let's hear from Blake Trinan.
Blake, obviously looking at the results today, is this one where you just kind of maybe felt like stuff wasn't there for you this afternoon?
I don't know. I went back and looked at some of the pitches, and I didn't even think locations were really that bad. It's just a matter of, they had better swings. Maybe I don't know, maybe don't execute good enough. Obviously, they put good swings on it. I've been really happy with how the year's been going, and I'm not really going to dwell on one game. Colorado isn't an easy place to play. I've had success here, I've had failure here, so just tomorrow's a new day.
Were you surprised to see how aggressive they were? It feels like this might have been kind of just a theme for that group against you all, whether it's been today or even the last few days.
Yeah, I really don't know. My head hasn't really had a chance to think about too much other than just being frustrated, so,
Was the sweeper playing the way you wanted it to, like just the way you're executing it, or when you see them kind of get as much contact as they did off of it, does that tell you something?
I mean, the contact tells me it's probably not very good, so that's probably where that's at.
So that was Blake Trinan. Yeah, it just didn't play like he wanted to, like he was saying there. But I got a couple super chats. Terry Heskels, I was hoping for some Roki cheers, but I fear all we got was more Roki tears. What a stinker. Trinan and Diaz looked absolutely awful. Yeah, I look, like I said, I think it was more of last year's Blake Trinan than early this year's Blake Trinan, but we'll have to continue to evaluate him. I mean, just Coors Field is a nightmare for pitchers that rely on sweepers and sinkers and stuff with movement, and his stuff looked flat. They were aggressive early in counts, but really the only thing I'll remember from this game, I think, other than probably the Roki stuff and the Ryan Ward stuff, which we'll get into because I want to finish on a high note, is Edwin Diaz made his first appearance since he blew his first save as a Dodger against the Rangers 9 days ago. So lots of rest, and he looked, frankly, awful. He did not look good at all. They weren't playing Narco by Timmy Trumpets. They were playing taps because he loaded the bases with nobody out. Then Julian, he got a 2-run single off of Diaz, and that takes him right out of the game, and that gives the Rockies a 4-run lead. Then Mickey Moniak, he got another home run and another run on a ground out, I should say, to give the Rockies that 3-run inning there in their second of the game. So Edwin Diaz, it came out that he's dealing with the knee injury. Not necessarily, basically the knee doesn't feel strong, the one that he hurt in the WBC. And this is a concern for me on a lot of different levels because the velocity is down. And when his velocity is down like that, he's doing 93 at one point today. And now we know what the reason for that is. And Edwin Diaz said that he's been dealing with something. Dave Roberts said they were going to tread lightly with his workload as his velocity trends up, and they build him up. But this is something that you do not want. I mean, you look at his overall body of work today. Four-seam fastball was down 1.4 miles per hour. He averaged 91.9 on the four-seamer. The average is down to 93.3. This is a guy that last year averaged 97. This is a guy that had to hit 100 in his career. And, it was down 0.4. So his four-seam averaged 95.4 and is down to 95.8. But there were some 93s in there. And that was just extremely concerning. And I really hope that the closer spot isn't jinxed and there's not some monkey paw situation here happening where with Tanner Scott last year, he signs that big $72 million deal, and he struggled. He led the league in blown saves. Edwin Diaz now on the year. It's very early. This is a big opportunity, of course, if he stays healthy to get those numbers to where he wants them to be. Edwin Diaz's ERA now, after giving up 3 runs and also had a walk, the ERA is at 10.5. A 10.5 ERA so far this season. 4 saves, 10 strikeouts. The whip's at 233. Let's just call it what it is. It looks like it's a mess. It really, really does. And I've said it a couple different times that I feel like they need to treat him like they treated Blake Snell last year, where if he's not 100% healthy, why is he pitching? If the knee's not fully going where it needs to go and what he needs to do with it, and he's not planting right, I'm guessing, they need to do something about Edwin Diaz. And I would not be surprised if you see him continue to struggle and the velocity's down, that they don't take the proactive and cautionary route and say, hey, we're just going to shut him down, make sure he's 100% healthy, because you didn't get Edwin Diaz to get 30 to 50 saves in the regular season. You got Edwin Diaz to hopefully be that lights-out closer in October and help you win another World Series. So, I mean, it's a concerning. Dave Roberts even said it was concerning, and I am concerned. I'm not that concerned about Blake Trinan. I'm really somewhat optimistic about Roki, just in the sense that I feel like there's these baby steps that are happening, and at the very least, he's good for 3 innings at the beginning of games and things like that. But this Edwin Diaz stuff, after 9 days, you have 9 days off and your fastball velocity is down still. That's concerning. He's not the same pitcher at 95 as he is at 97 or at 100 at his peak. That's what you paid for. So I would love to, no pun intended, sugarcoat this for you, but it's not. Like, there's a real concern level for me with Edwin Diaz. And like I said, I think you take the next couple appearances, you hope that it gets better. But if it doesn't, here's the thing, even if he's getting some results, but he doesn't look like Edwin Diaz, I think that's the time you have to take action. And we're going to see guys start to get healthy. And yes, they're a little on the side of, okay, when Blake Snell comes back and Gavin Stone will be a little bit of a time, and then River Ryan now is out. So it's going to take some time, but yeah, I mean, I think you might have to change some stuff up. I mean, Brock Stewart is on his way back. He's continuing his rehab in Ontario, so things are definitely on the mend there. You're going to see him back in the next couple of weeks. That definitely is good. And I think that when he comes back, I would not mind. And this is no slight to him, but I would love to see Timmy Trumpets at Dodger Stadium. It's great entertainment. But the last thing you can have is him to pitch through something just because he's trying to be a gamer and play through an injury, and then it really hurts you. It actually turns into something selfish when it looks like it's something selfless, right? You think, oh, I'm doing it for the team. If you're not available for October, you're hurting this team. Because we do not care what you do in April and May and June. He could have 100 saves this season. If he bombs in October, that's how he'll be remembered as a Dodger. Period. End of story. That's the only way you can cement your legacy with the Los Angeles Dodgers now. The only way you become a legend is if you get it done when the lights are bright, when it matters most, in the postseason, just like how Yoshinobu Yamamoto did last year. Shohei Ohtani, Blake Snell, even Blake Trinan, Walker Buehler, and the bullpen dogs, and Tommy Edman, and all these. If you want to be certified, guess what? You can't do it right now. So don't even try. Put yourself in the best position to be able to certify yourself, and that's in October. So I'm concerned, but yeah, it is it definitely you hate to see it. You really do. But you got to feel good about Ryan Ward today. Ryan Ward did have a chance late to be the big hero in this one, and you were hoping that you would see that with a chance with the Dodgers trying to mount a late furious comeback. Ryan Ward, who had already collected the first hit of his big league career, and then he followed that up with another hit. He ends up going 2 for 5 with an RBI. Ryan Ward singled to right in the 4th inning, and then he singled to center in the 6th inning, and then top of the 8th inning, he popped to 3rd, and then the 9th inning, representing the tying run, he got himself into a hitter's count, a 3-1 count, and he flied to right to end the game. So that ended it. But all in all, hey, look, anytime you get a hit in your first game in the show, that's a win. Anytime you get an RBI, that's a win. He did that as well. And anytime you get 2 hits and have a multi-hit game, that's a win. But hey, that would have been a movie had he hit a 3-run shot there, because the 9th inning, Shohei Ohtani had a ground rule double. Will Smith, he singled to right. Muncy reached on an infield single. Pages walked. And then rushing, he grounded to second. That scored Smith, making it a 6-9 game. And then Ward had an opportunity to tie it, but he flied to right to end the game. But still, anytime you get a debut, it's a great day. And let's hear from Ryan Ward.
Well, obviously this day is special for just so many reasons, making your Major League debut, but when you are able to come up in big situations, having an RBI hit, 2 hits in general, I mean, how would you just describe this moment for yourself as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of fun. I mean, from start to finish, the butterflies were there for sure to start the game. They went away, though. I mean, once the game started, it was like, okay, it's just baseball, so it was a lot of fun to be out there.
Seeing how you were able to get the results, I mean, how encouraging is that for you, just facing big league pitching and understanding where you can fit in with either this team or just even at this level?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been something that, especially down in AAA, guys talk about. It's a lot different up there. Everything's different up there. So like coming up here and getting swings off and seeing some results was really cool.
Were you swinging first pitch, that first bat, no matter what?
Before the game, I was told you only get one first pitch, so remember it. So I was ready to go for sure.
Kind of a highlight for you today? I mean, a key moment, welcome to the big leagues moment?
It's probably the first hit, I mean, seeing everyone on the bench get excited for me. Woody over there was excited, and just being able to take like that deep breath of like, okay, like that's over with, and we can move forward now.
Do you have any doubts when you hit it?
I did see him go up in the air, and I was like, oh, okay, thank gosh, yeah.
And then how about that last play of the game with you at the plate?
Yeah, you know, I mean, 3-1 count, heater in, and kind of get jammed a little bit, which shouldn't happen in that situation, but almost split in, and guy made a great catch, and that was that.
Where's the first hit going to go?
It's going back home for sure. Go back home, and then when I get back, I'm sure I'll take care of where it goes after that.
Get a chance to look up and just see all your friends and family cheering for you.
Yeah. After that first hit, when I was on first base, I got to see them all jumping around up there. So that was a pretty special moment.
So congratulations to Ryan Ward. We'll talk more about him tomorrow on Dodgers Dugout Live when we get back into the studio. But yeah, the big takeaways today. One, Roki Sasaki, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. He just can't get over the hump. But I think for this one, because it was in Colorado, the grade I'm going to give him, I'm going to give him a C-. It's still a C-. I need to see some more B starts. But the big takeaway is he failed. And when I say he failed Dave Roberts' challenge to go at least 5 innings. He got close, was efficient through 3, but then the wheels started to fall off. And the big takeaway is when the wheels fall off, and he goes up the tracks and get rocky for Roki. Second biggest takeaway, and the number one takeaway from this big game, from today's game, was that Edwin Diaz, something looks like it's off. And that's what we need to talk about tomorrow as well. I'm going to dive into the numbers, the movement profiles, and things like that. But Edwin Diaz, the velocity is down, the effectiveness is down. He does not look like that $69 million pitcher that was supposed to have 30 to 50 saves. I see people in the comments calling him Edwin Scott. Chill on that. Chill on that, please. Third big takeaway is you got to love Ryan Ward. I mean, 2 for 5, an RBI. He becomes the oldest drafted Dodgers player to make their big league debut. Like, that's pretty awesome. The commitment to this organization from him and vice versa, it paid off today. And you saw almost the sense of relief in his face, and just knowing that, hey, I was able to make that debut. And at 28, and he's 28 years old, 55 days. He became the oldest Dodgers draft pick to debut with the team. Jeff Zahn, a pitcher who the Dodgers drafted in 1968, who debuted when he was 27 years and 257 days. He had that record. He set that back in 1973. So big takeaway there. Fourth thing you need to know is Shohei Ohtani extended that on-base streak to 51 games. 51-game on-base streak. And another takeaway, too, was top of the lineup, Haesung Kim, 2 for 4, Alex Freeland, 2 for 4, 15 hits for the Dodgers, but 4 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Just not enough with runners in scoring position in this one. And, yeah, that is... You're going to live with that. I'm going to cook Jim Bowden tomorrow, so don't worry. I'm actually going to save that for the DFA of the day tomorrow. He kind of said some crazy stuff. I'll take some comments here on the way out. D-Mac is eating a torta, a huge torta. What's up, Mr. Seabad? Jason Diamond G's Diaz injured already. He's barely been here. Edwin Scott from Terry Hesticles, Damaged Goods. Mario Landaverde, are we expecting to win 150 games? This is baseball. We got Andy Chen. Guess Tanner is going to have to become a Banner Scott. The real Mike Petty. Didn't we have Diaz that pitched like this that last year? Okay, hold the trumpet from Mr. Guzman. A $5 super chat from Ken Tanker 75. With few exceptions, Dodgers freshman jinx is a real thing. We pay for quality, and we're seeing freshman year slump with most of these players. Mr. Guzman says Kershaw can pitch. Sykes says Roki can't close to save his life. He's worse than 2020 Kenley Jansen. Jason Diamond Diaz. This season's Brock Stewart. We got Brock greater than size Diaz. Kenley Jansen, you can't live with your own failure. Braveheart. We got Lola. I miss Evan Phillips. What's up, Lola? Yeah, he'll be back around the All-Star game. Freaking Blake Trinan. Kimbrel is available. Okay. Let's do some more here. Appreciate you guys. Edwin Syndergaard from Nando. You guys are crazy. D-Mac, I'm hating all the SD fans who keep thinking it's their year. Hey, San Diego, a half game behind the Dodgers. So I like it. It's going to push them. All right, guys. So we'll do a long 7th inning stretch tomorrow. Do some more here. Psycho, Kyle Tucker is doing well enough so far. He's had a pretty solid week. And the Dodgers, they'll be back in action tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. The Dodgers are are in a spot where it's one of it's those rare wraparound series. You got to love yourself a wraparound series. So the Dodgers, they got to win tomorrow to not lose the series. They got to win tomorrow to not lose the series. So the Dodgers can't lose their third straight game in this wraparound. And you have Justin Robleski, his third start of the year, against lefty Jose Quintana. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. If you want to support every show, do your boy a favor, man. What I got to do? Do I got to do shoeies? You guys want this hat? Man, I mean, like, what you got? Drop a comment, drop a like. I like to hear what you guys have to say because I'm going to start using the comments for the previous episode to start the next one. So I'm going to read those comments on future episodes. If you want to be featured on a future episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, drop a comment down below. But see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.